So my name's Aishani Sinha. I'm a second-year undergrad student studying computer science at UCL.
What do you love about computer science?
I'd say I love the problem-solving nature of computer science the most. The fact that everything is just built on a series of zeros and ones is honestly so fascinating to me, and we can build such vast systems out of just this underlying principle. That's really interesting to me. I also just love reading about all the latest updates to the field there are. There's so many growing applications of computer science in so many areas, and that really interests me. You know, anything from agriculture to biomedical sciences, it influences everything from the way that we communicate as well. So I love all of that aspect of it.
What research are you currently working on?
So as a second year undergrad, I haven't really chosen my field of research just yet for the future, but last week actually I just finished my work for the systems engineering module at UCL, and the systems engineering module works closely with the industry exchange network known as the IXN. We're essentially partnered with an industry organisation. In my case, and my group's case, it was Intel and the National Autistic Society. And we've essentially worked on creating Hands Up, which is an offline AI-powered application to help simulate game shows for classroom experiences. And it was very exciting. I learned so much from it, both from a software development standpoint, also from a project management standpoint. So yeah, very good experience. And last summer I did get the chance to work on some research, not related to computer science per se, but I was basically developing a computational framework for bacterial growth models, which was extremely exciting. I was doing it with the UCL Maths and Physical Sciences. So I guess it just shows that how broad computer science is. I could do maths and biology related to computer science, so very exciting stuff.
How can we encourage more girls and women to study computer science?
I think a lot of it comes down to representation and just exposing the young girls to it early from a young age. I think I was very fortunate to have that exposure and representation in school. Both of my computer science teachers, for instance, were females, so I just had that exposure and I got to be able to see the vastness of computer science from such a young age. I think also just encouraging young girls and women to go to fairs and speak to women already in the field, increasing that media exposure. I also think it's to do with also showing that computer science isn't just about coding. I think we all, myself included, sort of get fixed under that impression. But I think if you show that it's about creativity and understanding the logic behind everything works, I think opening that door kind of will help more women get involved in it as well.
Did you ever think twice about studying computer science because of the gender imbalance?
I think the gender imbalance is definitely noticeable, both in school and at university. For instance, by the end of the year, I was the only girl in my class studying computer science. But I don't think it ever stopped me per se. I think it's a lot to do with the learning environment you're in. I think with me, I was never put down for it. I was always encouraged and uplifted. And as I said, both my computer science teachers were females. So I always had that representation, that exposure from a very young age. And yeah, I think having that was very important, and it hasn't really stopped me at all. But I think the more us girls get into computer science, the easier it will become for more girls to get involved. If you see someone like yourself on the news, or if you see someone like yourself studying computer science, you'll think, yeah, I can do that too, and I think that's so important.
What advice do you have for young women and girls who are thinking about studying computer science?
I'd say just go for it, honestly. There's going to be people who say you can't do it, or you'll think yourself you might not be able to do it. But it just comes down to getting that confidence to try. I think that's probably my number one tip, is just build something. It could be a website, you could do something with your hardware, Arduinos. But I think as soon as you try something out, you'll think, okay, yeah, I made this, that's something I've achieved. I think a lot of times we don't feel as though we're ready to start. At least in my case, I'll put off something until I feel ready, but there is really no time to be ready. As long as you first take that first step and try, I think that's when you'll actually realise, yeah, I'm capable of this. And I think just take any opportunity you get. It could be a robotics competition or a maths competition or anything like that. I think just get involved in it, take it with both hands and try everything out, see what you like, and yeah, number one, just go for it.